Navnath Bhaktisar, chapter number 10. Gahininath was born from a clay statue raised by Madhunaba Brahmin. Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Namo Adesh. In the village of Kanakagiri, Machendra preached to Gorakshnath and made him proficient in all Vedas, made him proficient in all 14 science and all weapons, taught him the science of Shabri and placed him at the feet of all the gods. He made him see Narsi, Kalika, Muhammad, Mahishasur, Jyoting, Vetal, Maruti, Shri Rama, etc. When he met Rama, Rama made Gorakshnath sit on his lap and blessed him. Anyway, the 52 Veeras, the present Shri Ram, Surya, etc. all gave boons to Gorakshnath and telling Machendranath to make him to do penance. After they left again for their respective places. One day, Gorakshnath was sitting reciting the Sanjavani mantra. Machendranath was not nearby. Seeing that he was sitting there alone, the children of the village approached him while playing. The children were playing with a ball of mud among themselves. They asked Goraksha to make a mud cart, but when he said he could not make a cart, the children started making on themselves. They made a mud cart. The children thought that there should be a driver to sit on the cart, so they started making a mud statue, but they could not do it. So they started praying to Gorakshnath to make a clay statue. He accepted their request and took the mud and started making the statue. It was previously predicted that the mud statue that Gorakshnath would make would be the incarnation of Gahininath. Accordingly, the wisdom to make a statue of him arose. Out of the 9 Narayanas, Karbhanjan was to be the incarnation of this clay statue. So, Gorakshnath became wise and started making the statue. At the time, the Sanjavani mantra was being recited. Seeing that the entire statue was ready, Karbhanjan entered it. Then, bones, skin, flesh, blood, etc. all become a radiant statue of a man. Then, he started crying. The children nearby heard the sound. Then Gorakshnath had brought a ghost. The children shouted and everyone immediately ran away in fear. Later on the way, he met Machendranath and asked the boy why he was afraid and ran away screaming and told him not to be afraid. Then the children told him the story of the statue. Hearing the children's speech, Machendranath was amazed and decided to see with his own eyes what a miracle it was, and made the children sit close to him and ask him about all the signs. The children had shown Machendranath the place from a distance. From there, he began to hear the voice of a child. Then, thinking that this was the incarnation of Karbhanjan Narayan, Machendranath picked up the child and started walking on the road. Although Gorakshnath had made the statue, he could not see it nearby. So while Machendranath was taking the child, he kept calling out of Gorakshnath. Hearing the call of the Guru, Gorakshnath came out from where he had hid in a house. But on seeing the child in Machendranath's arms, he also felt scared. He did not dare to approach the Guru. Seeing this, Machendranath understood that Goraksha was afraid. Then he wrapped the child in a bundle and went to Goraksha and told him that this is a human being and he is the incarnation of Narayana, one of the 9 Narayanas. Then Goraksha also told him how it had happened, and Machendranath was happy to hear that just as you are born in Gora, you made this statue as a Sanjavani mantra. Karbhanjan Narayan has moved in it. He is not a ghost but has become a human being. Machendranath told the truth and dispelled Goraksha's fear. Then, taking the child with him, Machendranath went to his ashram. There, he brought a cow's milk and fed the child and put him in a bag and rocked him to sleep. The news of this incident spread throughout the village. When the people of the village went to visit and inquired about the boy, Nath also told them all the news. Hearing this, they were surprised. Machendranath had brought a clay statue to life by his disciple, and therefore he began to say that Machindranath had special merit from Brahma. Seeing Machindranath's intention to take the child with him while he was on a pilgrimage, many people suggested to Machindranath that he should hand over the child to someone else. Hearing this, Nath replied that it would be very good if it were so. After getting Machindranath's help with this, the villager decided to beat the child with someone else's head. Then a Brahmin named Madhunaba lived there. His wife named Ganga was a Mahapativrata. Since they did not have any children, they were always quarreling and did not have any desire for anything. Knowing that she would take care of this child with the devotion, everyone recommended her to Machindranath wholeheartedly. Then Nath and he were pleased to give a gem like a Gahininath to such a world-renowned woman and man. He placed the child in the lap of Gangabai and said, "O mother, this son is a blessing. This is the incarnation of the one of the 9 Narayanas as Karavanjan. Take good care of him. That will bring you good fortune and he will grow up to be famous in the world. What will he become in this future? O mother, what can I tell you now? But for his service, the incarnation of Kailashapati will descend. He will bless him whose name is a Nivruti. Name him Gahininath. We are going to on a pilgrimage. After 12 years, when our child Gorakshnath comes, he will bless him." Then, as soon as Vibhuti was applied to her body as a charm, milk began to flow from her breast. Then, after breastfeeding the child, she called the village's housewife and placed the child in her cradle and named him Gahininath. Later, Machindranath stayed there for a few days and taking the leave of the villagers went on a pilgrimage along with the Gorakshnath. While going, Machindranath saw that the Gorakshnath was still raw. Then, knowing in his heart that he should hand it over to Badrikedwar Swami for examination, he went on many pilgrimages to Badrikashrama. And here ends the 10th chapter of the book Navnath Bhaktisar. Om Namo Adesh. Alakh Niranjan.